Hello everyone! I am so excited to come back on Instagram Live. It's been quite some time now. My phone screen is shattered, so I have this like really weird light because my camera has cracks like through it. So I'm sorry about that. But I am coming on today to talk about what to actually post on Instagram. So I've talked about this topic before, kind of in a different way. But the last time I did a webinar, you guys were super excited about learning the 80-20 rule. And let me know if you can hear me, guys. You love the 80-20 rule, so I wanted to kind of come on there and explain it and dive into the specifics of it. So what I noticed was a lot of my clients and even my students are kind of hung up on the idea of what should I actually be posting on Instagram. I feel like I'm saying the same thing over and over again. I feel like I'm boring people. I feel like I'm running out of content. I feel like I'm constantly promoting my business and just like losing people. So I wanted to kind of break down how I work with my clients to create an Instagram schedule that is not all promotional and that actually gets really great engagement, really good traction, and just gets them eventually sales and clients and all that fun stuff, which is really important. So basically, if you're unfamiliar with the 80-20 rule, it is the breakdown of promoting or posting 80% educational content, valuable content, trainings, teaching, just really, really high value content that has nothing to do with your business. And I do quotes because, of course, always has something to do with your business. And I just had another idea that I want to write down before I forget. So 80% educational content, valuable content, content that's actually surprisingly easy to make because you are the expert in your industry or in your field or in your business or whatever it is that you do. And then 20% of that is business promotion. So talking about the actual business side, you promoting some sort of like product or service that you are offering in your business. So hi guys, everybody joined at once. And if you aren't familiar with the 80-20 rule, there's a really, really good book by Gary Vee called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And basically, it's breaking down the idea of that jab, jab, jab is that 80 side. The jab, jab, jab is educational value, like giving that content for free. Really high value content for free, and then the right hook is the 20%, the ask, the offer, the promotional side of things. Hi everybody. If you guys have questions, please let me know. I love when you guys are active in the chat. It helps me feel like I'm not talking to my screen. But to get more in depth with the 80% side of things, so the educational, the valuable, like giving that really, really important value. Basically, it comes down to one, obviously providing value to your audience, and two, being able to position yourself as the expert in your industry, which obviously is kind of like a win-win situation. So examples of this type of content would be teaching people how to use your product. So, and that can be a number of things, but like how to style this plant holder. I can see a plant out of the corner of my eye. How to style this plant holder in 3 different types of room settings or whatever. I don't make plant holders, so it's probably not the best example. But also things like teaching people how to prep for your service if you're not a product provider or a creator. Teaching people how to prep for your service, like 5 ways to prep for your newborn session, or 10 ways to look your best on your wedding day, or like preparing for your wedding day if you're a makeup artist and it's like, don't drink a lot of alcohol the day before, whatever it is. Just little things that you can constantly be educating your audience about while positioning yourself as the expert in your industry. So when people are, even if they're not ready to hire a newborn photographer or a makeup artist in that moment, they're thinking of you, and then other people are paying attention, and whenever somebody needs a recommendation for X, Y, and Z, you're always top of mind because you're the person that's really positioning yourself as that expert. Some of the other really valuable and easy content to create as far as the educational side of things goes would be recommendations. If you're a locally based business, promoting other businesses is always, mutually beneficial. So saying like, hey, I have this studio space here. If you're looking for a photographer, I love blah, blah, blah. If you're looking for a graphic designer, you can go to so-and-so. And a lot of times you'll get that cross promotion, which is really, really incredible and kind of like a bonus. Another example would be sharing resources. So this could be as simple as screenshotting a podcast that your audience and your target market would really enjoy, or doing some sort of book review, or even just like a book recommendation, like, hey, I read this book. Hey, jab, 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 right hook. Really good for the 80-20 rule. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out the book or go check out my Instagram live. So that type of content does really, really well on Instagram. Another easy piece of valuable educational content would be roundups, or I call them roundups. I don't know what the other term would be, but like basically doing an Instagram live or an Instagram story, or even a post with like 5 different images. And I have one of my clients that owns a boutique. She does like 5 ways to wear leopard in the fall, and she'll wear leopard with this thing and that thing and that thing, and you can mix and match. And she'll have all of these videos where not only is she teaching, but she's also showing people, hey, she has this leopard shirt for sale. And 2, she also has all of these other things for sale, and they all look great together, mixed and matched. And if you want to buy them, this is where you can do it. So it's a really great way to, like I said 8 times already, position yourself as the expert, but also provide tons of value to your audience, which is really, really important. That's how you get the engagement, and that's how you get the following. And then quotes are also a really great educational or valuable piece of content, not necessarily educational, but that does really, really well, especially when engagement's involved. And engagement's important because that's what tells the algorithm, hey, this content's really great, boost me up and show me to the rest of my audience. So that's the 80% side of things. That's the 80% educational, valuable content. Now, the other side of things is that 20%, which is that's the right hook. That's you asking for the sale, for the inquiry, whatever your call to action is. That's your 20%. And that's what you're probably focusing on right now, or feeling like that's all you're saying, and that's what's frustrating. But if you bring in that other 80% and then come in with that 20%, your audience not only notices that 80% and is paying more attention to your content, by the time that you get that 20%, that business promotional content popping in, they're more likely to, 1, pay attention, and 2, trust you enough to make that call. So promotional content's kind of simplistic and obvious, but it's things like, here's a product, here's my service. By the way, did you know that I offered brand photography after watching my 5 Instagram lives about how to style brand photography? Like, whatever it is. Just be very like upfront and yet still casual about this thing that I offer. Sales are also a promotional piece of content. They're really important. People want to know about them. And if you've jab them long enough, and then you have a sale coming up, that can do really, really well on your social media. Let's see what else. So if you have a new launch coming up, or an event, or you have a new collection that you're releasing, all of that does really, really well. Announcements like, hey, by the way, this thing is not going to be continued anymore, or I don't know, whatever you would announce. Hey, I have a new course. Hey, I have a new blog post. Sometimes blog posts can fit into that educational side of things. It really depends how you format the blog post. So for me, if I'm talking about what to actually post on Instagram, and that's my blog post, I can take some of that content from that blog post and put it in my caption, and that will fit into that 80%. Now, if I'm doing a blog post that's a roundup of my my newest, I just got a call. Can you guys still see me? If I'm doing a roundup of my 5, completely lost my train of thought. I lost it. Oh yeah, if I'm doing a roundup on my blog of like my newest, a gallery of my most recent like engagement couple photos, that's going to probably fit under business content, promotional content, more so than like an educational blog post. So you can kind of like differ it that way, but that could still fit under education. And then you can also do your FAQs, which are, they toe the line of that education slash promotion. So it kind of depends, again, what that content is. But FAQs would be things like, these are our hours that we're open. These are the ingredients that are used in our products or our food or whatever. This is where we're located. This is our shipping time. This is our processing time. Whatever you're answering constantly, that actually makes really, really good social media content. And that's probably the number one mistake I see businesses making, especially small local businesses. So like your brick and mortar, they don't know what to post on Instagram. And I'm always like, hey, do you guys have like special business hours? If I come to your shop the day after Christmas, are you going to be open? And it's not posted anywhere. It's not on their website. It's not on their social media. That would be really, really good content. So just something to think about if you're one of those businesses. So breaking that 80-20 rule down onto like what it actually looks like to post on Instagram. What I tell my clients and what I post for them is, if you're posting 7 days a week on Instagram, once a day, so daily, I would say about 5 to 6 of your posts should be those high value posts. 5 to 6 depending on how easy it is for you to create that, and then 1 to 2 promotional posts a week. Depending on how much you actually have to promote and what your week looks like. If you're doing like a really big push, a really big promotion, a really big sale, you're going to show up a little bit more than your regular weeks where you just have a lot of content to share. So that's what I recommend. And then the other thing that I recommend is taking that content and breaking it down onto a calendar. So a weekly topic calendar is what I do for a lot of my clients. So they know, okay, Mondays we're going to do behind the scenes. Tuesdays we're going to do a quote. Wednesdays we're going to do an educational like recommendation or a resource, and kind of breaking it all down that way so we can see the 80-20 broken down onto a day-by-day basis. So we're not like, oh, we just posted like 4 posts about our business and we haven't been like pushing any like actual value or content like that out there. And I noticed, I'm super guilty of it in my own business. I haven't been posting on here. Obviously, you guys probably know that because I've been super busy elsewhere, especially on my, like, creating my studio. So when I've been posting, when I'm like, oh, I'm doing a webinar tomorrow, I need to share that I'm doing a webinar tomorrow. That's like a business push, even though it is free value. Announcing that is not super, super exciting for people. So those posts didn't do as well because I haven't been doing the jab, jab, jab. I was just like right hooking people because I didn't have time to, I wasn't making time to jab, jab, jab them. So I highly recommend kind of doing that overall picture. So you can see, okay, this is how often I'm showing up and this is how often I'm actually providing value to my audience. And if you guys want more information about creating calendars, creating strategies, I do have a free training that you can access instantly on my website. It's the 30-day Instagram strategy in 1 hour. So basically you have a calendar and you fill it out. And I break down all the different types of content, the educational, the resources, the business stuff. You get to kind of like make a whole list and then you plug it into your calendar. And if you do it with the 12-minute training that I've included and you pause in between and fill out the worksheet, it should take you less than an hour to do the entire month strategy in one fell swoop. So 60-minute strategy, 30-day Instagram strategy in 1 hour. Highly recommend. It's been getting a lot of really good reviews just because there's a lot of content packed into that little freebie. So you can find that via the link in my bio, or you can go to brandstrategyco.com/freebie. There's a 6-page workbook, and you're supposed to spend about 10 minutes on each worksheet that's included, so that's the 60 minutes. And then I did include a 12-minute video tutorial just to kind of like this, just to break down exactly what I mean on every worksheet so you know what I'm saying and it's not confusing. But if you're watching this, you probably have a better idea. So again, that's at brandstrategyco.com/freebie, or you can just click the link in my bio. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will be back hopefully next week. I'm trying to show up every week on Instagram live again. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next time.